The red light is on. Let me get this out.
Okay. So we're going to talk about...
Well, first we got to welcome them to Our Road to Camelot.
Okay.
Welcome to Our Road to Camelot. I'm Steve.
I'm Dawn.
and yeah, we're going to be doing the best tips of Disney World after...
kind of our view of it.
Yeah, our view of it. Right after this.
Okay, so we're actually going to be talking about some of the tips and tricks that we kind of learned while we were at Walt Disney World this year.
Some by mistake.
Yeah, some by mistake and some for good. The first thing that we're talking about is the 4 theme parks.
Well, we're going to be talking about, all the stuff that's there.
Yeah.
Why do you want to make a Disney park thing? So, 4 parks. Magic Kingdom.
Epcot.
Animal Kingdom. I get the kingdoms. Animal Kingdom. And...
and Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, so if you don't know anything about the parks, go back and watch our past videos. We the last 3 videos, we were at all 3 of those parks, so you get a chance to see what's in each one.
Well, and also the shopping area.
Yeah, and one of the shopping areas.
Yeah, one of the shopping.
Now, we didn't do the water parks this time, but they have 2 water parks.
They do.
But they got Blizzard Beach
and Typhoon Lagoon.
And I love Typhoon Lagoon. That's so much fun. But they're both great. We've been to both of them in the past. We just didn't do it on this trip. And there's
the pool. Now, we didn't really see it. We didn't go there. But the pool at the campsite has all kinds of fun stuff. All the pools everywhere, and all the hotels everywhere.
Hotels, they have awesome pools.
Awesome pools.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Everything's themed. It's so cool. Yeah. And then there's 2 big shopping districts. We went to Disney Springs.
Right.
But there's also the Disney Boardwalk, which is attached to a resort. So you get the Boardwalk Resort and
we really wanted to get a chance to get over there, but you know what?
We're going to talk about the campgrounds because that's what we do, and that was awesome. But there are at least 34 other resort hotels and places like the cabins at the campgrounds and resort hotels. 34 of them across the property that you can stay
at. That's a lot. Yeah.
Crazy a lot. Wow.
But you know what? All of them, even the most basic, are the most fun to be at. They just make it fun. They give you that Disney experience no matter where you are.
Right. So let's talk about the campground. First of all, there's different level of campsites, all the way from tent camping and some very basic campsites all the way up to premium in the meadow, which we were in the middle. we had a middle of the road campsite, which
was great.
Yeah. I'm not going to mention prices because prices will change depending what time of year you go. So I can tell you how much I paid, and you're going to say, "Wow, this is a lot more," or "Wow, they got ripped off. It's a lot less." Depending when you go. So check the dates on what are premium dates and plan accordingly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Your favorite was the next one. But we didn't get a chance to take advantage of it.
I know. They have golf carts. And my thing is definitely get yourself a golf cart. It'll help you get around the campsite. They're a little on the pricey side, but you know what? It would be well worth it.
The way I would rationalize it, the price of the campsite and the golf cart rental is still about the same as the lowest level of hotels.
Yeah.
So
for what we did.
So if you stay at one of the resort hotels or you stay at the campground and get a golf cart, you're not paying any difference on that lower level resort. So
and it's great because what a lot of people did, instead of waiting to catch a bus to get to the buses to take you to the resorts, they just drove their golf carts. They have a place where you can park, catch the bus to the resort that you want to go to, and you're on your way.
And if you want to go to the camp store, you don't have to catch a bus. If you want to go to the restaurant, you don't have to catch a bus.
Steve had to catch a bus because we wanted ice cream.
Yeah.
So he actually had to catch a bus to go to the camp store to buy the ice cream to bring him back. Yep. So a golf cart could be handy.
And I did it again when we got done with that
and
one
to get to the pools or wherever else.
To cook.
Because they're at the campsite, they do a lot. And that is coming up. Well, I could tell you some of the things they do that you can ride your golf cart to.
They have an incredible laundry. You actually did a laundry while we were there.
I did. It was really great because where our campsite was, and right across from the laundry and
the funny thing is, there was a laundry right across the old one too. There are like laundry and bathhouses all over the place. Very convenient.
It's really great because with the laundry, you use your credit card to pay for it. And so you only use the amount you did. You don't have to scrounge for quarters like I have in other places. So it's really convenient. Really clean, really nice.
Yeah, and they had ice machines there where you... Now you pay for the ice, but you get a big old 10-pound bag of ice for the ice. So they have the bags there to fill.
Yeah.
As long as we're saying that, though, too, take advantage of early check-in.
Yes.
We went on the day before and... we did the check-in, and they, even though check-in is like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or something like that, they said, what time are you planning on arriving? Well, as you saw, if you were been watching our videos, we purposely stayed at a place an hour away so we could be there as early as possible. And our plan is they have an overflow parking we could have parked in and then wandered around with the pups until our site was ready. But because we did the early check-in, they had the site waiting for us at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. Well, mostly because people had already left, which was great.
So they were able to slip us in.
There.
Yeah.
No, he did have to come. He did come and clean up the site a little bit. The second site.
Yeah. But they were right on it.
Yeah. They were right there, and they got in it, and they said, give us a second. We'll clean it up. That's what they told us. And we're sitting there watching them.
When does that happen? They had somebody come in. They quickly came in. They did a leaf blower and then
there's a lot of pine leaves and stuff.
And then raked the part that's gravel and made sure and hosed down parts, and then we were able to pull right on. It was wonderful. Took no time at all.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's awesome. We didn't take advantage of it, but they had a great pool with water slides and a hot tub and a whole pool area that was really amazing.
Oh yeah, check that out.
Next thing.
The ranger activities, that's what I was talking about. You might want to have the golf cart for. There are so many wonderful things. They've got horseback riding, archery, ranger talks. They have
character visits,
which is really great.
And they have a Disney movie every night.
So you can go watch a Disney movie, and they have like popcorn and all the goodies that go with it.
Yeah.
They have campfire talks. They have you just have to go on and see what they're doing, because it's like
pretty amazing.
They have so many wonderful fun things to do.
Now they actually had a couple of camp stores. They had one big one that's almost like your typical Disney store with all the Disney paraphernalia, but a lot of it related to camping. They had like a store to buy anything you might have forgotten
extra bread
or ran out of,
eggs or
and they had a couple of restaurants. Now, some of the restaurants were not open yet because of the COVID condition, but their main, what was that one called?
Oh, they have that show. There's like a stage show restaurant.
Review.
Hoop-de-doo or Whoop-de-doo
Review.
Or something. Yeah, unfortunately it wasn't open.
That wasn't going on yet, but they had a restaurant where we actually we ate there twice. It was like it was, you would order
very basic.
You'd order chicken, ribs, something
pizza.
Else. There was different things you could order, and you go there and pick it up. Now the neat thing about it is that you can go on the app, place your order, hop on the bus, and when the bus drops you off at the drop-off point, you go in the app real quick and say you are on site, and by the time you walk to the restaurant, it's waiting for you to grab and go back to the bus again. And that was actually really convenient.
Golf cart.
And you could order it and have it charged to your room or campsite, so you don't have to be dealing with cash or card at the place. You just have it charged. So that was really convenient. That was the restaurants. Campsites are large, they're full hookups. They encourage you to decorate.
They do. Some of the campsites were so awesome. They actually had blow up Mickey and Minnie's or Mickey and Plutos. I wish I would have thought
about it to go around and videotape some of the campsites.
Yeah, they were really great. They had lights around them.
Yeah, you've seen our site, but we were pretty tame.
We were
compared to some
very
of them.
tame compared to others. Yeah, they really decorate, and it's a lot of fun to go around and see it. I just really enjoyed seeing them.
And once we arrived, we didn't have to drive our truck once.
No.
We were planning on it. We talked about it.
Yeah.
But we wound up taking Disney transportation everywhere. You have buses that will take you all through the campsite area and to the Wilderness Lodge from internal.
Yeah.
And then you had you had 2 areas where you could catch transportation to the parks. So for Magic Kingdom, you can catch a boat or a bus from the village area, or you go to the main transportation hub and you can get buses to Disney Springs,
just about
Epcot,
everywhere.
Animal Kingdom, Hollywood.
One thing you'd mentioned, the Wilderness Lodge. Wilderness Lodge is actually, even though it's right there next to the campsites, it's not a part
next to the
of.
campsites.
Well,
it's a little ways away.
It's a little ways away, but it is its own entity.
It's definitely
so to speak.
worth visiting.
Oh,
there
it's
are
beautiful.
some great restaurants in there.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Our first night we ate there, and that was awesome. The Whispering Springs.
Whispering Springs was
Cafe.
excellent.
Yeah, it's just really good.
Excellent.
Well, now tips for the Disney trip in general. My number one tip, and I will have comments, I will have links below, the Disney food blog. It's not just about food. There's a woman who hosts that, AJ, with the Disney food blog. She's awesome.
You
it's a
are
YouTube
amazing,
channel,
AJ.
YouTube channel. You go on the website and hook up to get the email blast that she puts out. She posts maybe a couple of times a week, but she has amazing tips on how to maneuver and get through the park, ways of saving money. As things were reopening, she was posting when things were reopening. We pretty much use.
We've seen other ones that do the kind of the same thing,
Disney
but
Food
she
Blog's
really
ultimate.
is
That
the
is
ultimate. She is very, very good at what she does.
Exceptionally good. She has a whole team behind her.
Yeah.
And she also covers Disneyland on the West Coast, but most of her stuff's about Disney World, but she does throw in with Disneyland. So if you're planning a Disneyland trip, check out Disney Food Blog there as well. My next tip, get over the resort sticker shock. It's gonna cost to stay at a resort, but get over that sticker shock and plan extra time so you can have some downtime between the parks. Now, we didn't do that, and we were totally wiped out after day 6 of wandering the park.
You saw tell by the end of our video.
Our last day, we were so tired it wasn't even funny. But
it was.
We were still having fun, but I had as I mentioned, I had blisters on my blisters. It was so tough. So plan for that. Be flexible in your planning too, because the time of the year you go, you'll save money. You want to plan your trip way in advance. In fact, if you decide next summer we want to do Disney World, start planning now. You can go ahead and reserve your dates if you know exactly when you want to go. So you want to plan at least 3 months in advance. And
you have to realize July and August are pretty much
they're busy.
Their busiest time.
But I was also checking into September, and that was still busy.
Yeah.
So you want to plan way in advance, and you want to have your trip paid off. You can make payments to Disney. You can make payments to your account that you set up as you go. So I would suggest if you're going a year out, start saving now. You know,
start putting some money into that account.
Then that price tag won't be so painful. You're not trying to pay for it all at once. So pay it way in advance. We had ours paid off, I think, 2 months before we left. Or 2 months before we arrived at Disney, a month before we left on our trip. We had Disney already paid off. We didn't even have to worry about that. So I would definitely do that and get over that sticker shock. There's a window now that I'm not going to mention it now. You do your own research on this because it changed from, I forgot, 3 months out to 1 month out, and then it may go back to 2 or 3 months out to make dinner reservations. Find out when the window is for dinner reservations, and on that morning of when it opens, and realize it's Eastern time, start making those reservations.
Right. So if you're on the West Coast and you want to have dinner at, say, the Brown Derby on a specific time, you know, in the studios, you're going to need, if it opens at 8 o'clock, you're going to need to backtrack that and get up at 5 to make those reservations.
Now, some restaurants don't fill up as fast.
Right.
Brown Derby doesn't fill up as fast. But the cantina.
The cantina.
We
tried.
did not get into the cantina. We didn't even get into the Primetime 50s Cafe.
No.
Because I was calling in the late afternoon of the day it opened, and they were all full. They were now, of course, this is pandemic, so there wasn't as many openings, but still, some of the prime places fill up fast.
Yeah.
So, but we did get almost all of the reservations we wanted, except for Primetime 50s and the Cantina. So we didn't get those. But there are a lot of options for eating once you get there. So you could do counter service at any of the parks, and pretty much the same day you're there, you can get counter service. So that's you won't be without
Although
food.
on some of it, now this is with, again, the pandemic, what we had to do is if we said, okay, we want to have lunch around 12 or 1 o'clock.
10 o'clock, you
had to get in there and do your food order on the app. You could go to the restaurant, go onto the app, and say, this is when I want to have my food, and then order it. Because if you waited until that 12 or 1 o'clock time, you're not going to get it.
Right.
You're going to wait till like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, once again, once you get there, check the times, check what they're doing.
This also applies to boarding passes. Now, fast passes were not happening yet, but fast passes are coming back. And you can get fast passes and boarding passes the same day. Now, I'll put a link in again for the Rise of the Resistance. If you saw last week's video, I gave you a link there for how to get a boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance.
Right.
But this guy Mark, best video I've seen on that, and we were 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
got
cool.
on twice.
That was cool.
So yeah, but you're gonna want to make sure you get up.
And believe me, you're gonna want to
early.
ride it more than once.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible.
Oh, incredible.
They have a dining plan. Now, the dining plan was not in effect when we were there.
No.
But they reopened the dining plans and the pros and cons of dining plans. First of all, the dining plan is you pay for your dining, your food, in advance in a package as part of your park package. And then when you go to a park, you don't have to worry about using your credit card or shelling out more money. It has all been paid for 2 months ago. So there are pros and cons to the dining plan. And once again, I got this from AJ's Food Blog.
Yeah, one of the things with the dining plan is, yes, it gives you your food. You get 2 meals, I believe, a day, and
a
then
snack.
And a snack.
Yep. If you don't eat everything that was on the plan,
you don't get
a
that
refund.
money. That's the one place you don't get the money back.
So you may opt, you know what, we don't eat that way, then don't get the dining plan and just have extra money saved for the food.
I have to
Food
say,
is
if you
expensive.
have older kids and you go, okay, kids, see you later, here you go, and the dining plan might work for them because they get hungry, they can go eat something, and kids always eat more than we do.
Yeah.
So, that might work for the, if you have teenagers or something like that.
Yeah, according to AJ, you're going to break even at best. You might save a tiny bit, but it's not designed. It's designed for convenience, not for you to save money.
Not for saving money.
So be thinking of that as you do that. Next one. Magic bands. Yeah, we had our magic bands.
Yeah, this is so cool.
They don't give magic bands away for free anymore. I guess they used to at one time, but now you buy them. Ours are, you can buy.
Ours are more
cheap,
of the premium bands.
But we were getting too into it when we were planning, and we bought premium bands. But you can't
They're
get
too much
you
fun.
can't get inexpensive bands
that are just plain colors,
Now,
all kinds of colors.
The thing is that they have an app where you can use a phone app to do the same thing the magic bands do. But I like the convenience of wearing a band that I can just tap.
Yeah, as you saw in the video, Steve just walked up, tapped it,
to walk
and
into the park.
we walked in.
So it's also connected to merchandise. If you buy souvenirs, you can tap the band; it will automatically bill your credit card.
Food's the same way.
Food's the same way.
You can, get a snack or a drink or whatever. Just tap your band.
The pro is extremely convenient. The con is you need to really pay attention to what you tap, so you're not paying for everything. Now, the range is really close. You have to literally touch.
Yeah, you have to touch it.
So it's not like you could be walking by and somebody can steal your info off your band.
No.
plan your park days to pace yourself. We started to talk about this before.
Yeah.
When we do another Disney trip, I am going to plan extra days in the campground. There are so many things to do in the campground.
Oh, there is.
And there are so many other things to do other than the 4 parks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we did 2 days at Epcot, 1 day at Magic Kingdom, 1 day at Animal Kingdom, 2 days at Hollywood Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And we technically a day and a half, and we spent the other half a day at Disney Springs.
Right.
But we had no downtime in between. So I would open that up and reevaluate what park do we really want 2 days at. Now, a lot of new stuff is happening at Magic Kingdom and Epcot this year because of the
50th anniversary. Yeah.
So we might spend 2 days at each of those parks, and maybe just 1 day at Hollywood and 1 day at Animal Kingdom, if we want to do that with 6 days. But we would have, in between every single day, might be a day at the water park, or a day at the other water park, a day at Disney Springs, or the Boardwalk,
we didn't
or
get to
just
see.
hanging out at the campground, and checking out what's at the campground. And that way, on those off days, you're not going to spend all day at a water park. You wake up, get there when you get there, and leave early and come home and rest. So have days to relax in between.
Right.
Next, number 10. We got 11 tips by the way. Number 10, cooling towels. If you're there during the summer, you want to get a cooling towel.
You see me using them a lot.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
there's some of them where you see me with around my neck.
Yeah.
Basically, you get this thing wet, and you wring it out to some bit. You kind of snap it around a bit to get air through it. And when you put it around your neck, it is very cool.
Yeah.
In fact, right now
Literally.
it feels cool just because the material is cool.
Yeah.
But
And the thing is like, it's starting to get warm. Just snap it again, and it'll reactivate it.
Until it dries out, you can take it out and wave it in the air, and then put it back on, and it gets cool again.
Oh, yeah.
I want to throw one thing in before the next comment. If you are traveling with pets, you've got your dogs with you, or a cat, or whatever.
Even a bird.
Disney
birds don't need it.
Disney has a pet service on site where you can board your pets either just for the day and you drop them off in the morning, pick them up in the evening, or you can board them for overnight with them. And they are awesome people.
Oh yeah.
But they are pricey. And the thing is, you got to look into that way in advance. Now, we talked about, at first, we were thinking, well, we'll board Atkin and Sierra and get them a large room together at this place, and they go out and they play with them, and they feed them, and they exercise them, but
there's certain levels of that too.
Yeah,
so,
but it was going to cost us over $1,000 to have them there for the week. On top of that, because we were late,
they only have 2 big rooms.
They would have to have been separated except for exercise time, and I thought I couldn't do that to my dogs. They got to be together. In fact, I didn't want to even leave them there. We were talking about dropping off at night, but they would still not be able to stay together. So there is an option, and the option is rover.com. And if you decide to use rover.com, look for Tracy. We'll put her last name in there. But Tracy is awesome.
You'll know her because she has an amazing Scottish accent.
Yeah, Tracy and her husband Kenny.
Great people.
We basically... They came by the first day we arrived to have a meet and greet with the dogs, and we had a key hidden on the rig that they basically knew to come and get in they would take the dogs on nice long walks and play with them in the middle of the day and get them all exercised out. So they were only really alone for about maybe 5 hours tops at any one time. But they actually were looking forward to Tracy showing up every day. They loved Tracy.
Yep.
And she would make sure that their water bowls were full and their food was full, and they were all happy. And she would wear them out, so they basically were wiped out.
Akka doesn't walk very far. She took him on some good walks, which was good for him.
So Rover.com price tag came in at under $200. It was like $150, $160, something like that. It was really cheap. And that was for the
dogs
6
got
days.
to stay where they're used to.
Yeah, they got to stay at home where they're familiar. And Tracy was awesome. She would send us
videos and
little video
clips of them walking and pictures of them laying down now because they're all tuckered out.
Yeah.
So it was great. And, we had her just come once a day, but you can, if you need longer, if you need it twice, if you need it.
Yeah, if we were in the height of the season where it was open late, we would have probably had her come twice a day. But the parks opened late and closed early, so once was fine. But if the parks were like the summer hours now, where they're running, well, when you see this, it won't be summer hours anymore, but it would be summer hours, like they open at 8 o'clock and you're there till midnight. No, we would have her there a couple of times. And there's even a service where they will stay with them the whole day. But our dogs don't need anyone the whole day. They actually are fine with each other's company. So, but yeah, it's this is, you know your dog. If your dog needs companionship the entire day, get someone to house sit with them for the whole day, or leave them at the Disney complex where they will be with them the whole day. So you have options. You do have options. And
like I say, we recommend Tracy and her husband Kenny. They were awesome people. But Rover.com has a lot of great sitters and people that come out. Read the reviews on them and how many times someone has called them back. Look at Rover.com. It's a great program.
Yeah, it really is. You can find a lot of services out of Rover, so take advantage of that. Well, I think we talked enough. That's it for this video. Looking at the time on the camera, I'm going to have to do some editing. So, but make sure that you hit that subscription button if you like this video,
and hit that bell. Let you know when we post every Sunday at 2.
And give us a thumbs up for good measure. Follow us on
Facebook and Instagram,
and our website www.ouroadtocamelot.com. Okay, until next time, safe travels.
All right, Sláinte.